You locked in with yours truly, the Crown Prince, Pastor Trey.
And your boy, Pastor Lee B.
This is a special Thursday edition of Straight Church,
No chaser.
where we keep things real,
Yeah.
relevant,
Yeah.
and
Right.
you felt it on that last one, didn't you?
Yeah.
You still in revival mode.
Yeah, Doc. Still in revival mode, Doc. Finna get back in the swing of
You
things.
can't help yourself.
Can't help myself.
Can't help yourself. Listen, we do want to take this time to shout out our sponsors. We got to shout out the Wellness Coalition. Okay, there we go. All right, listen, join the Wellness Coalition on August the 27th for our free virtual breastfeeding summit. Throughout the day, our expert panel will provide education and resources on all things breastfeeding. Learn more about, other types of birth workers and things that you can do that can help you during pregnancy and postpartum. Read more about all of our summit topics and register at thewellnesscoalition.org.
Read.
That's thewellnesscoalition.org. Man, you need some help. You need some help for real. Then we have to shout out our A1s since day one.
Who it be?
It's the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation. Founded by our big sis, Tyranisha Marlowe, and Mama Sonia Mills McCall. The focus of the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation is mental health awareness with the concentration on suicide prevention. This foundation is a tribute to the life and memory of Brother Colin Connor. To learn more about his story and the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation, please head over to their website, which is lovingteddybear.com. Once again, lovingteddybear.com. And we encourage you, please, ma'am and sir, find it within the good graces of your heart, the generosity of your soul, to give and to sow to this awesome and amazing foundation. To do that, you can go to their website, which is lovingteddybear.com, or you can give via Cash App. Their cash tag is $LovingTB Foundation. That's $LovingTB Foundation. I figured you would catch it on the second go around.
Well, I think they got a new one.
Oh, they do? Oh.
You remember?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, we're gonna shout it out though.
We're definitely gonna we gotta make that up.
Yeah, because they be out here, pirates be out here stealing stuff.
Yeah.
So.
The updated Cash App is $LovingTB Foundations with an S.
There it is.
That's $LovingTB Foundations with an S. So please make sure you give and you sow to the Loving Teddy Bear Foundation. Again, it's $LovingTB Foundations with an S. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We like it. We like it. Like it.
The S stands for selfless. Stands for sacrifice.
I love it.
Stands for supply.
You sound like somebody Sunday school teacher. Got to make everything mean something.
Gotta help them to remember, man. Gotta help them to remember. So today's Thursday. We missed last Friday.
Yeah.
But we're back.
We back
Today.
We back.
Won't be here tomorrow.
Cause missing was whack. Huh?
Come on, man.
Won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we here today.
Yeah.
And so tell your peoples everywhere, the same way they act on a Friday evening at work, same way they can act on a Thursday evening. We're glad to be here. It is your boy, Pastor Lee B, and your boy, Pastor Trey.
Talk, man.
Trey. So we get into conversation this beautiful day, and the question is, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you? So we're going to get further into that conversation and why we're asking the question, how are you? But let's just do it, man. How has your week been thus far? I'm talking from Sunday to Thursday.
Yeah, from Sunday to Thursday, I would say it's been exciting. Okay. Preparing for my third pastoral anniversary.
My Lord.
So that's just exciting in and of itself.
My Lord.
Nothing else need to be said after that.
You know what happened at Jesus' third anniversary, don't you?
We ain't got to talk about that right now.
They hung him high. They rich. I'm being stupid. No, man. So I know that it has to be exciting.
Yeah.
I know you're on tiptoe anticipation.
Yeah.
About what God's going to do in that moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Humbling as well. Talk about it.
Humbling. Just the fact that it's 3 years, bro. And it's happening on August the 18th, and it was August the 18th 2013 that I preached my initial sermon.
My Lord.
So
what did you preach?
Here, I talked about, I don't remember the name of it. I got to go back and look through my folder because that's when I was typing all my sermons out. I had them in the
Full
notebook.
manuscript. Yeah, boy. Good evening, brothers and sisters.
The whole thing. First, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. I want to thank God for my dad, the pastor of the church, to all the ministers, deacons, family, and friends. I had it all typed out.
When you talk about the first third, look, you be running into my hoop right here.
Yeah, you do. Get ready to close.
Right.
Take a breath. Breathe.
First close. Second close. Third close.
Then you put right here. Tell them to touch their neighbor and say,
Lord, asterisk.
Right. Repeat.
Look up and say, yeah, I knew y'all weren't gonna say
that. Yeah. That's when you have everything typed out. Everything you think you might want to say, you type it out. And the crazy thing is you get there and skip by all of that.
Then the whole sermon over and you sitting there like, man, I ain't say nothing.
I ain't say none of this. I didn't say none of this. I wrote this down, had it underlined, highlighted, and all in all caps. I still didn't say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, bro. 2013, man. August 18, 2013. Preached my initial sermon. And to be celebrating my third pastoral anniversary on Sunday, August 18th. So the third Sunday is just very special to me. I preached my initial sermon on the third Sunday of August, right? Then I got installed as the pastor of Restoration on the third Sunday in August. So third Sunday in August is just very, very significant to me, man.
That's major though.
Yeah.
And it's one of those Sundays where a lot of folk they try to miss church. And so they came to church.
Come to church, yeah. Come to church.
The male chorus probably thinking, we're gonna stay in there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So your word for the week was, I think you said preparation.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah. Exciting.
Okay. My word for the week is take 5.
This man with a Reese's bar.
Take 5. So they didn't pay me for this advertisement, but I'm gonna eat this Reese's while we on this car, on this podcast, on this show. Right? But nah, man, for real, it was a week of taking 5. Like I was literally resting this week. I had a crazy week coming in.
Yeah.
To the month of August, celebrated 5 years, and this was the week I had nothing planned.
Wow.
At all.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I found out that I had a revival that I said yes to that I've forgotten to let everyone know about.
Oh, man.
Shout out to New Bethel and Pastor Jerome Henson. And I was reminded by Deacon Percy Thomas on Monday. He said, we coming to see you in Colorine. I said, Doc, what are you talking about? He said, you're supposed to be in Colorine. I looked at my phone. There was me and Pastor Henson talking about me coming to Colorine. So, yeah.
What night did you have to be there?
Monday. Oh. No, Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday. So I had about 38 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About 38 hours.
But now I'm talking to the guy I've seen put together a whole sermon literally minutes before he's about to get up.
God is good. That's all I can say. God is good.
Walk up there with a few scattered notes, a few points. And then you pray, and then you sing a little bit.
Have a whole bunch to say.
When the Lord release you, you be like, okay, I'm good.
Say it, Lord. Say it, Lord. Say it, Lord. Say it, Lord.
How often have you had to do that? Like kind of sing a little bit to buy yourself some time to get your thoughts together?
To be honest, most places I go, I do that because I don't write introductions.
Wow.
I don't write introductions, and then there's a certain mood I need the pews to be in.
Got you.
That allows, the preaching to be conducive and them to receive it as I desire for them to.
No, you don't write your introductions out?
No, I don't write any introductions anymore. I stopped that a long time ago. No lie, because I have such an imagination.
Got you.
I can go too far with an introduction. So now you got so much introduction, and then my internal clock will make me rush the substance.
Oh.
So I'd rather have this much introduction off the dome and have this much substance.
So you get straight to it.
Yeah. Yeah, the sermonic spotlight of our text shines upon the moment when Christ was preparing the disciples as he was leaving the earthly realm, right? John 14, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I do it, and then I'm going.
And then you going on to the first of your 7, 8 points.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Crazy.
Jesus is at the wedding. He didn't show up at the I do's, but he showed up while they were playing the wobble. My introduction is done.
And then point number 1.
And the first thing we know about the wedding.
So how are you? How are you is the topic of our conversation.
How are you?
So we both celebrated or celebrating, because I'm pretty sure you still celebrate,
so to speak. But let's get these done real quick, because they're coming in here hot and heavy on a Thursday. So we got to shout out our Facebook crowd. Shout out to my mom. I see you. Mama Annette Gale, I see you.
Yeah.
Sister Elizabeth Williams, Sister Daisha Parker, Mama Sonia Mills McCall, Pastor Anthony Williams. Shout out to you, our brother. I see Mama Angie on here.
What up, Mama?
Happy belated birthday to you, Mother Angie.
I gotta do this. Today's my sister Joya's birthday. Joya lives in California. She could be listening or watching right now. So happy birthday, sis. Love you.
No. And that's good. That's good. So there's 2 birthdays on you.
2.
And I want you to sing happy birthday.
I'm not singing.
Happy birthday to you. Come on. Happy birthday to you.
I don't know that.
You don't know that one?
I don't know that one.
You look good.
I like the new one they came out with. They called the hood one. I wanna say happy birthday to you.
Tell you. Now you know they got a new one though.
Now close your eyes. They got a new one.
They got a new one. It is singing happy birthday to Revelations. I think it's 12. What's the song? Hallelujah. So they happy birthday. Happy birthday.
No.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And they have all the parts going. You know who it is. It's Will. Will can't help it.
Absolutely.
The rehearsal with my friends or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He got them doing it. Man.
That's crazy.
He got them doing it. It's good though. It's dope.
Crazy.
It's so dope. Good evening to y'all. I see y'all jumping in. Sister Jacqueline James, we see you. Good afternoon. Sister Leah Palmer, good evening to you. Sister Mercedes, I was going to say Mercedes. That's what I was about to say. Sister Mercedes, good afternoon. Sydney Williams, good afternoon.
What up, D?
Doc, it is officially, and you were there. You were talking about anniversary, but these kids officially went to school, man. Hasn't it been easier to drive in the city?
A whole lot easier. But we do want to take the time to be in prayer for not Percy Julian. Jag. I was about to say JD, had to remember they changed the name, but Jag.
Yeah.
Because I think they have been shut down this week because of a minor COVID outbreak. So definitely want to be in prayer for the faculty, staff, students, parents, and everybody involved at Jag and everybody who attends. Because I know one of our members is a teacher at Jag, so we definitely want to be in prayer for the students, the faculty, and staff at Jag.
And we want y'all to know that COVID is still real.
Oh yeah.
So if you have any symptoms, put a mask on.
Yeah.
Make sure you're cleaning your hands. Make sure you bathing your body.
Wash them hands.
Yeah. We're going to throw that into our sermon. Lean over. Grab your hand sanitizer. Rub it in real good. Slap your neighbor high five. And say, neighbor, I touch you with my sanctified, sanitized hand. Yeah, but really, it's spreading fast. And I'll even add this. There's some people talking about the vaccinations and that they were vain and things of that nature. But we know that viruses continue to mutate and take on other forms.
They adapt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they adapt.
And so we just need to make sure that we are being safe.
Yeah.
And make sure that we're being clean. Okay. All right. So that is Jag. You were asking the question, am I still celebrating? I'm still celebrating.
Yeah.
5 years came fast, man. God's been amazing. we've been having some real good fun in the Lord.
Absolutely.
And you know, when you're having fun, time flies fast, man.
That's what they tell me.
And so we had fun. You got to see the big homie again as he came Thursday.
Yeah.
Pastor Edward Smith blessed us in a mighty way. We had some fun. And
that was like a dream come true for you, though, wasn't it?
nah, that's my preaching hero. That's my preaching hero. Man, it was a blessing to have the opportunity. I don't know if you probably saw me. You probably saw me in one moment because you know I be moving.
Yeah.
One moment I just sat down on the pulpit.
I saw it.
And I'm just sitting there.
I hope somebody caught a picture of that.
I'm like, this guy.
I hope somebody took a picture of that.
I don't know. I ain't seen
because it's almost like you were sitting at his feet.
Yeah,
just taking it all in.
Yeah, dog. That man walked like the lineage of Herod. Like he had a family tree in his mind.
I mean, not no single piece of paper up there.
Dog.
No iPad.
He
no
said his
computer.
daddy, his uncle,
the granddaddy.
granddaddy. I said, oh my God, dude. Can you calm down? He said all their names, bro. And I'm sitting there like, bro, now I don't remember everybody in my family name.
Then he had, man, the time of their reign
Mm-hmm.
and what they were known for, what they were nicknamed.
Yep.
Like, God, dog.
Dude, how you do this?
Did he talk to Josephus before he came up here?
I think homeboy got in that Back to the Future mobile.
Playing, man.
And he went back there and he met all of them. He was, man, Pastor Edu was calling him out like his mother was the midwife.
Bro, it's crazy, man. It was a crazy thing to see. But I think also too, just seeing how he embraced you was something to see because, you know, quiet as kept. We had opportunity to be a part of their staff at ILS.
Mm-hmm.
We were drafted in, but we were
we
were able to kind of serve in a capacity, and it just goes to show how someone of his stature and status really remembers the little things.
Absolutely.
And not to say that what somebody does is big, little, or small, but it just goes to show you how much the fact that he cares enough to remember what you did, that what may have seemed insignificant to others
right
was significant to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because to see the scramble of ILS, right, and to see how his team was trying to manage everybody was coming.
I forgot about you serving. You was at the back of the line. And you were legit gonna get cussed out by somebody preacher because you were telling them no more pictures.
No more pictures, man.
Ooh.
No more pictures. No more pictures. No more pictures.
No more pictures.
They had mercy on me. They had a little mercy on me. But I was crying.
What the preacher said, I done bought that book. I want him to sign that book. He gonna sign that book.
He gonna look at me talking about, come on, man, you a preacher? Come on, let me slide. I'm like, bro, the man that been out here a whole 2 hours signing books, kissing babies, shaking hands. His wife ready to go. They ready to eat,
bro. we not even on staff, but we in the staff. Right. I've been standing for 2 hours.
Look, miss my next session.
Our feet hurting and everything. Like, bro, it's time to go, bro.
Yeah. But to see him in that moment, man, and you know, then to have, you know, I was able to have a little dialogue with him, and for him to bring that up and remember, like. Like, I remember y'all was there, y'all was helping me, and I really appreciate that. Y'all just don't know how much that meant to me. And I'm like, wow, he remembered that. That happened last year.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show the type of person that he is.
Yeah. And it teaches us
absolutely to
not look over the small details and the people who might be carrying out the smaller tasks.
True.
Because everyone's important.
Yeah.
And if there's anything we've learned in pastoring, it's that everyone is important.
True. And too, man, to just the amount of time that he took speaking to everybody.
Oh yeah, Doc.
Like a lot of times pastors, they come in, preach their sermon, hoop, holler, quote unquote, kill the house, dump the house or whatever, and then they go to the back and then you never see them anymore.
True.
This man,
humble, Doc.
Like this man came back out,
humble,
shook hands, took pictures, one rushing, one trying to leave. Was just chilling,
bro.
And he did that. And it's one thing to see him do it at ILS because he got a book,
right?
You know, of course, you know. So some
people trying
think,
to get saved.
Yeah, some people think, but to see him have that same attitude,
yeah,
and it's just crazy. Yeah. But then it goes to show us too, man. When you stay humble, bro, God will elevate you at the right time.
That phrase that I often say,
Yeah.
I took from him. If you stay low enough, long enough, God will elevate you soon enough.
I'm telling you, man.
And he is that. He's the personification of that.
Yeah, dog.
Because when you're pastoring 10,000 plus people, when you're best friends with Deion Sanders, when your own staff for Colorado, when you do all the, man, it's enough to some of us to make our head bigger than the sun.
True.
And
True.
he remains humble.
Yeah.
And so that is it's a blessing to see how authentically he's just.
He did
humble.
tell me we gotta get him on the radio.
Oh man, you know.
So we're gonna have to set that up some type of way.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. I don't know.
We can do that easy.
Yeah, but he did tell me. He was like, "Hey, don't forget, I'm supposed to be coming to the radio." I was like, "Hey, you had your people call our people."
Nah. Hey,
I told him it's always open mic. It's on you.
Hey, I'm telling you right now.
It's on you.
That show, I ain't saying nothing. I'm writing notes. It's some people I don't have nothing to say around. I just want to listen.
True.
I really don't.
True.
I went to singing. I'll be the singer. You're the preacher. I'll be the singer because it's too much of a pour.
Yeah, man.
That I need to receive, and people don't get it, man. I'm the type of person that in those type of settings, I'll sometimes ask questions that I already know the answer to, just so I can hear a different nuance from somebody who has a different point of view.
True.
And
True.
he loves dropping those dimes and that wisdom because he's come so far.
Yeah, but he does it unintentionally too, though.
On accident.
Like he just be talking and he just say something. Like, man, you can't just run past that. Say it again.
He was sitting there like, what? He was and he is phenomenal. Sister Gwinnetta Ponder, how are you doing? We pray you're having a good day as well. We see you, Sister Shirley Wilkins Callahan. Good afternoon to you.
Absolutely.
Reverend Coleman, how you doing? Good afternoon to you. He said, I tore up JG's installation. Bless you, Pastor Coleman. I did what I could. Sister Venitra Whiting, how art thou? We pray all is well, wherever you may be. We need to, let's take a moment. I need y'all to help us by sharing this broadcast. Throw some hearts on the broadcast and share the broadcast. I'm putting it on my page now. We got some Straight Church No Chaser members that are not on right now because they don't know church opened a day early.
Yeah.
Good evening to you, Jewel Lamar Easter. We pray all is well. Miss Gwen Diane, good afternoon to you. And so, yeah, man, it was a blessing, man. That was a blessing. The golf tournament was a blessing. It was good to see other churches involved.
Yeah, man.
Bringing their deacons out to play. So we had some good fun raising some money for some high schoolers who have the desire to go to college and go beyond. And we also, of course, Sunday, man, Kelvin Bryant, man, it's so interesting because
he was another chill one, man.
Bro.
When I talked to him Thursday, he was just laid back.
Big bro, man. He is a comedian, man. Oh my God. I've never met someone who is me on steroids. Like,
that's crazy.
You know how I have my moments where I'm gonna put in a jab that might be funny in a sermon or something like that to grab your attention back. He just funny anyway. He just funny. Like, and I don't even want to tell you none of his jokes. They funny. You can go watch it. It was that good to me.
Yeah.
He had me dying, but he has a pour like no other, man. And I would love to get him on here as well, man, because he dropped some dimes in the parking lot after we had eaten some food, man.
Let's do it.
And he said how you never see the pilot who's flying an airplane, right? That's what a pilot is for somebody. You never see him determine his height nor his distance based upon the people who are sitting in coach or first class behind him. He determines all that by looking at the gauge. What is the gauge? The word of God. What is the gauge? Whatever Christ tells you to do. And man, he just kept working that analogy of the airplane. I said, Doc, we're gonna have to fly an airplane in here so you can point at the stuff while you preach at us, okay? But he blessed us in a mighty way. Good afternoon to you, Pastor Ballard Scott. We pray
what up,
that all is well. You just went to his church, man. Have they gotten the roof fixed yet?
Yeah, I believe they're back going. I believe the renovations are complete. They're back going.
Did you tear it up and then restore it?
We did. We had to help them out. It's always fun going to Agape, man. Beautiful people, man. Very supportive. It's a blessing always to be there. So, Uncle, no, anytime you need me, I'll be there.
He said, "Not yet."
It's always a blessing to go.
Good afternoon to Mount Nebo Baptist Church. I believe that's Pastor Jesse Scott. Good afternoon to you, brother.
Shouts out.
So what goes through your mind as you cross over to another year in pastoring? What goes through your mind?
I think for me, it's thinking about the journey from being, like the sound man, right? Then the cameraman, then to being armor bearer, then being a licensed minister, being youth pastor, then being president of the Ministers Alliance at the church, then being associate pastor, now being lead pastor. So for me, it's the journey, and just really taking time to consider just how far God has allowed me to grow at every phase and at every stage, and really appreciating the journey of it for me, because being one of the youngest pastors in the city, and then God allowing us to pay off the mortgage, some 10-15 years before we was ever expected to do, is a major thing.
Absolutely.
And it was something that God allowed us to do, and so I'm appreciative just for the journey and what it took for us to get to that point,
right? And
then now looking forward to where God is leading us. So for me, it's the appreciation of the journey.
I like it. I like the journey.
Yeah, Doc.
And I like that you shared it, because a lot of people don't know that many of us, like David, return back to the pasture.
True.
Many of us.
True.
A lot of people see our glory. They see our presence. They see our delivery.
Yeah.
They see, the armor bearer, or they see the Bible with the gold trim, and they don't even know the journey you've been on.
Absolutely.
It's so interesting. I was talking to somebody yesterday about us being intentional about our young people's reading literacy.
True.
And the thought came back to my mind how when my dad got his first church, St. James and Wall, and we were living in Buckingham, and my dad would put me in his Bronco. We'd get in his Bronco with no heat, no air for real. It'd be cold, and we'd be driving all the way to Wall. And it seemed like it was forever, because back then there was no Chantilly. There was no beautiful Pike Road. There was none of that, right? True. And he'd make me read the Sunday school lesson. So I'm sitting in there struggling through this King James version, introduction.
Yeah.
I got to talk to him. He said, well, what are the 3 objectives? And I got to tell him the objectives. And bro, it's those small things that people did not and still do not know.
Yeah.
That made us who we are now.
Absolutely.
And so our ability to know scripture, our ability to understand application, our ability to break it down in its proper context is because of the work we did behind the scenes for our fathers.
Absolutely.
I think I can speak for both of us, that we did for our fathers.
Yeah.
That was not them putting us on a path for pastoring.
Right.
But it helped us just totally.
Absolutely.
Be who we are, move how we move, and have the embedded intellect that we have.
Yeah, not knowing that God was using every moment in every instance, every objective.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Every task, every chore, God was using every single thing to prepare us for pastoring. We didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when I look at my dad and I think about our relationship, I think about Daniel and Mr. Miyagi on the Karate Kid, right? And I think about it from the perspective of that Mr. Miyagi used every lesson to teach Daniel to do something that was going to challenge him to be better. So you say, this is what you want to do. Let me see you work to get it done. So I literally worked for everything. Yeah. Like my dad didn't give me nothing.
Doc, you preaching to me.
Because like people don't understand, I'm not pastoring Restoration because I'm, Bishop Clarence E. Stewart Jr.'s son. I literally worked and labored.
So let's dig there, right? Let's dig. You said Daniel and Miyagi.
Yeah.
And you liken yourself and your father and just that journey to that.
Yeah.
The conversation and the reality that Daniel did not like what Miyagi wanted him to do, but he was obedient and did it. Right. He was disgruntled while he was doing it. He said, man, I'm trying to learn karate to protect myself. And you're telling me to wipe on. Right, you telling me to wipe on and wipe off.
I didn't want to follow programs.
You telling me to wax the car. Right. What kind of mess is this? And then he
picking up the towel, right?
Right.
And then he taking it, throwing it back down. What are you doing? What are you doing?
then he comes and shows him that what I'm teaching you in one world works for the other world. Yeah. Isn't that just like Jesus Christ?
Bruh.
Parables.
Come on, man.
Earthly stories.
Come on, dog.
With heavenly meanings.
Come on, man.
So it's interesting how God allows it all to make sense.
I didn't realize what my dad was trying to instill in me was to have a work ethic.
Oh, that used to get on my nerves.
Because as a pastor, man, you can't sit back waiting for people to do.
Ain't no sit back.
You, as a pastor, you have to set the tone, right? You have to get up and go. You have to be a go-getter.
Bless you, Pastor Scott. Bless you. Sister Shirley Dean says she's going to try to see you Sunday, Doc. Yeah, man. That work ethic is insane because the bottom principle, well, the main principle they were teaching us is if you want it, you're going to work for it.
Absolutely.
And if there was any principle that this generation needs, it's that one right there.
Bro.
Oh, it's that one right there.
Let me tell you something.
That's the issue with this generation. We want it, but we won't work for it.
You got to work to get it, man. And it's not that our fathers were pushing us to be pastors or preparing us to be pastors. They were literally, they were preparing us for life. God was the one who was leading us and nudging us in the direction of being a pastor and being the pastor. So to me, man, 3 years is a culmination of my life.
I love it.
Now, I've been in ministry practically all of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was born into this.
Yeah.
So
young age.
Here you go.
You was ready.
You gotta let that go, dog.
I'm just saying.
I remember I told my dad you confessed when my dad was here. And I was telling your dad that story. Your dad had this look like, son, you gotta let it go.
No, but I mean, for real, like I tell people I was born under the pulpit, but you was born on top of it. Like you was already there. But man, come back to church, man. like for real, all of our lives, and especially just and it was interesting. What's interesting is they taught us work ethic, but they taught us how to fill voids.
True.
Because and if there's any, this is the second principle that I think this generation needs. If there's a void and it must be done, and you realize it, then you fill it. You know what I'm saying? We don't waste no time. I mean, it's a sad indictment, and I ain't gonna lie, it was sickening for me because there were many pastors who cried, moaned, and griped during the pandemic. But then there was us who said, hey man, I'm not the most tech savvy guy, but I'm about to learn.
Hey, we finna figure this out. Let's see what we not about to do. What we not about to do.
The devil thought he had
His soul got away.
Nah,
he got away.
We got on YouTube. We got to talking to each other.
Yeah.
We started going to conferences.
Absolutely.
Whether it was full gospel, whether it was technology conferences, whatever it was, we had to go get the information.
Listening to podcasts. And them revealing what they're doing in quote unquote mega churches.
Yes, sir.
And how we can do it effectively on our own
and let our pride go and start asking people that had it together questions.
Absolutely.
And then, crazy enough, turn around and try to help all the people who didn't ask for no questions. They asked no questions.
Seriously. And it was amazing how the people who had it were willing to share it, though.
Absolute.
And they were just grateful that we asked.
Absolute. And that built relationships.
It did. to this day.
To this day.
To this day.
Yeah, man. So I think I love that. I love it. It's a culmination of your life. This is your journey.
Yeah, bro.
And you got so many more years ahead of you. You're not an old man at all.
No.
And you got plenty of energy in your body and in your voice.
Yeah, man.
And so I think what's interesting is the mind of a creative pastor. And I say that because I know you are a creative pastor.
Right.
Oftentimes people will look at me and they say, hey, man, this your day, this your week. Man, just sit down and enjoy it.
No.
Can't.
No.
I can't. Because the same way we tell a couple as they're getting ready or they're budgeting for their wedding,
Yeah.
we say to them, budget so you can live after the wedding.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing in those moments.
True.
We're considering what's next.
Absolutely.
How do I make sure that we keep moving forward? How do I make sure that this celebration don't last so long that the enemy does creep in? How do I, you know what I'm saying? These are the things that are going through our minds.
Bro.
And it's not that we don't stop and pause and say, thank you, God.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that we want to do that while we still working.
Still working, man.
Because the year ain't over with
It's
yet.
not. I done had so many people ask me and reach out to me, even call while I'm here at the station. You excited about Sunday? You ready for Sunday? How do you feel about Sunday? I'm excited. I'm ready. I feel great about it. But I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not ODing.
Yeah, I'm not allowing myself to be so caught up in the celebration that I get complacent.
Yeah.
Like I'm not becoming complacent because I made it to 3.
You focused.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna enjoy the moment.
Absolutely.
After the moment, we have to move because God doesn't stop moving.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I ain't gonna lie to you. When people were asking me last week, I was excited about both of them coming. My big brother, Pastor Kevin Bryan, and I was excited about the OG Bishop, my mentor, like coming, Pastor Edward Smith. But at the same token, bro, when you're talking about a Sunday, I'm like, man, there's 52 of them in a year. All of them get the same love from me, man. It's another Sunday, dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, I'm always in that space as well. And I think that's because we're creatives.
Absolutely.
But that's also why, and I hope I'm helping somebody in our church realize how we are because of who we are and who God's created us to be. But that's also why we have to take vacations.
True. True.
It's always hard to disengage. But we, the creatives, we have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And nobody mess with us.
Yeah.
Right. We have to go somewhere. I ain't trying to just not answer the phone, but please don't call. Like, you have to.
Absolutely.
And so even around this time of anniversary, I'm already planning the trip.
Yeah.
For the family, I'm planning a trip, for me and my wife, because we're gonna have to get away. If I'm gonna slow down mentally.
Absolutely. No, that's true. And this year was my first time like taking a real quote unquote vacation.
Yeah, you did.
Since 2019.
Sheesh.
Because the pandemic came 2020.
Yeah.
And so I was really kind of working and helping to get that figured out so we can keep the ministry going. I got installed 2021.
Mm-hmm.
COVID was still around.
Yeah.
So it's trying to figure out how do we move forward in this quote unquote new normal, right? And then 2022, 2023 was like a blur because so many things were happening left and right. Yeah. And then 2022 comes along, I get married. Mm-hmm. Then my sister passes, right? Shay passes. So that's like, man, then my grandmother passed. So 2022 was one heck of a year for me, filled with highs and lows, right? Really high highs, really low lows. Mm-hmm. Then 23 comes along. Still back in school, working on getting my master's degree.
Amen.
And then still figuring out which direction are we going.
Right.
In ministry, while still dealing with personal things, still grieving while going, not having the time to really sit down and grieve over the fact, like, I lost my whole sister, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like my sister.
Right.
Then 2024 comes and God blows our minds. Yeah. Right, we pay off the mortgage. That's great. I'm having a conversation with my dad. My dad looks at me and says, "Son, you need a vacation." That's how the music stopped. Look at me and say, "Son, like you need a vacation. Like you need to you, Altanir, y'all been going, y'all been moving, man. Y'all haven't had time. Like, you need a vacation. Everybody else has been saying it. My mama's been saying it. People been saying it. But I was like, man, something in me when he said it was like, yeah, it's time for you to relax. Because if you keep going and you don't stop, eventually you're going to crash.
Absolutely.
And I remember me and you were having a conversation one time offline, and you was like, bro, we have to make sure that we take time to disengage. Because if we don't disengage, we'll blow up and we'll become destructive.
Yeah.
Because we'll be running on empty.
Yeah. And when you're creative, there's so much that you have the opportunity to blow up about.
For real.
Especially in church, when you're dealing with the willing and not the skillful. So it could be one of those things, man. It could be one of those things.
And then getting past the feeling of like, I gotta have my hands on it.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna lie. That's something that's real deliverance right there.
True, dog.
I think it still shows you who you can trust to do things and who you can't, though.
Yeah,
And it definitely unlocks the door for delegation.
True.
And it frees you. And some people need to fail so that they'll realize they ain't all that they think they are, because that's the worst part about church folk. Some folk think they got it together. And it be like, bruh, you don't. And sometimes that's us too, though, right?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's us too. And so it's one of the things we have to just, man, like, peace.
Have to go.
Old preachers say you gotta let them miss you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's so, and once I got to the place where I was like, it's okay for me to take my hands off, because at the end of the day, it's God's church.
Right. It'll be all right.
Yeah. That was good for me.
I see y'all next Sunday.
That was good for me.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wee.
that was real good for me.
Ooh, wee.
That was real
See
good
y'all
for me.
next Sunday. Look, don't even watch the broadcast.
Don't
even watch it.
Don't. I was about to do it, and my wife said, "What are you doing?" I just said, "Whatever, man. I ain't got time. I ain't even got time."
Look, I don't even be studying it. I watch it later. and half the time, whatever went wrong, somebody gonna call and give me the clip notes anyway.
That's true.
And so it's
That's
one of those
true.
things. But I will say this, man. It's 5 years for me. It's 3 years for you. This Sunday, make your way to Restoration, 9:15.
9:30.
9:30 service.
Yeah.
Pastor McBride is preaching
Yeah, man.
from Macedonia Baptist Church.
And it means a lot to me, because when I first started preaching, he was the first pastor to include me in a revival.
Wow.
Very first one.
That's what's up.
Yeah, very first one. So
That's what's up.
yeah, I was like, I gotta get him in.
I love it.
Got
No,
it.
I love it. I love it. He's solid, man. He's a
And not
solid.
just one, like, he kept me on a rotation.
Yeah, he's a solid man
He is.
and a solid preacher.
Absolutely.
Pastor.
So I'm grateful that Pastor McBride, that Macedonia saw fit to let him come.
Yeah.
And that he thought it not robbery to come and be with us. So I'm excited to have him this Sunday. Hopefully
love
Deacon
it.
Williams can come with him, so I can see him.
Deacon Williams.
Yeah, Sidney Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's on here. You calling him out?
Yeah. He's on there.
Okay. I about to say I'm looking for the name. I was
Yeah.
about to start looking.
He's on there.
So I think that's good. Now I will say this as well. One of the things that's interesting about our journeys is that we are two of the youngest in the area still.
Yeah, dog.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Man,
Yeah, bro.
I think I had to have been going on 31 the week after I started in New Home,
Oh, wow.
because I'm 36 now.
Got you. Yeah.
So I was going on 31.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
30 my first Sunday. I was 31 probably the second Sunday.
Wow.
And so, or a little bit after the second. I don't remember how it fell. But you started pastoring what age?
27.
27.
27.
Now you're 30.
Yeah.
And you made me the second oldest. You put me down. I was up there. You put me down. Then our brother at St. James Hope Crossing is a younger fellow as well. But
Okay.
we're still the only three. And so it's interesting the position.
We got
Who?
at New Providence.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot my
yeah,
boy
yeah,
McQueen
yeah,
and came
yeah,
to the
Frank.
city now.
Yeah, Pastor
How old is
McQueen.
Frank?
He's doing well.
No, how old is he?
Oh, I thought you asked. He's in his 30s. He's
Yeah.
like 32.
Everybody younger than
32,
me, man.
31, I think, somewhere like
Everybody
that.
young. Y'all making me the old young preacher. I'm the old young preacher.
Slowly pushing you up.
But man, like
Slowly pushing you up.
it's interesting that we're still the young bucks, right? Shout out to you. We see you, Jeremiah Sims. I think that's a preacher. We see you, all the living legends. Cheyenne Webb Christberg is here.
Miss Cheyenne.
Says she's so glad that we're on the right track and making sure that we balance our lives. Bless you.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of the both of you. That's Mama Stewart. Self-preservation, absolutely. Jesus started around 30. He did. Pastor Coleman, you're right. I always forget about Cam too, because Cam is a young fella. He just got an old spirit.
Cam.
And so I'm still older than Cam, man. Cam 32.
Cam is 32. Okay.
Cam is 32.
What about
Sidney
Chris?
Williams said, "All right, Trey calling out the deacon."
Chris
who?
Chris Cersei.
Chris, yeah, Chris just got his shirt.
He's
I don't know how old Chris is.
in his 30s.
He has to be in his 30s.
And
I think I'm older than him.
Then we got Leon Hampton.
Okay, all right. So you got me, you. And I forgot my brother's name from that passed this whole street. You got Cam, you got McQueen,
Yeah.
you got Hampton.
Yeah.
Who else?
We got Chris Cersei.
Chris Cersei,
Richard Williams at
Richard Williams, Metropolitan,
Yeah, Metropolitan.
Jonathan Givens, Southside,
yeah,
COC.
Yeah.
Montgomery might be killing it with the young pastors.
Mike, so I think all of us are in our 30s.
Yeah.
In our 30s.
Now, I didn't even think about those, and then there's still some more when you jump denominational lines.
When we do that, absolutely.
Yeah, when you jump denomination, there's some more.
Absolutely.
And it's just I think that's refreshing, but I think at the same time, it means that all of us need to pay attention to one thing for certain.
What's that?
What I keep finding in the young preacher, pastor, is us utilizing or spending our attention in the wrong place.
All right, talk about it.
I think some of us need to remember there's a difference in preaching and pastoring.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you're a preacher, no, we ain't forgetting Courtney Meadows. That's my guy there. He's just not in the city right now, Real.
Yeah.
Not in the city right now. So when you're preaching, your focus should be on that craft, preaching. When you start pastoring, that focus is still there. There's more leadership than there is just preachership.
Yeah.
Because preachership don't lead no church,
True.
but leadership will.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the big thing that we have to start focusing on. In a world where there's tons of people who are leaders, a lot of people that are leaders want to go to churches with pastors who can lead them.
Absolutely.
And I think that matters.
It does.
And so
It does.
I would encourage everybody to start getting in that realm, man. One of the first books I read that changed my strategy coming into New Home was Who Moved My Pulpit by Thomas Rayner.
Okay.
And then I read Mark Miller, Checkers Not Chess, or Chess Not Checkers.
Got you.
I forget.
Got you.
But it's a leadership book.
Okay.
Really doesn't, the Mark Miller one has nothing to do with scripture. It has everything to do with people. And I think that's what we have to major in.
Yeah.
Because
we're pastoring people.
Dog,
Yeah.
majority of us church babies. Majority of us are church babies.
Yeah.
And so what really stirs me, even when we're talking about Pastor Edwin Smith, when we're talking about Pastor Kevin Brown, when we talk about any of the preachers that we see as great, I know between me and you, our calculation of greatness is not their delivery in the pulpit.
Right.
It's their leadership outside of it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the major things that we all need to make sure that we're focusing on. We won't always get it right.
Yeah.
But we always should be progressing and evolving as a leader.
Absolutely.
Even if we're not becoming everybody's favorite preacher.
True. Because at the end of the day, those pastors, while they get called to go here, there, and everywhere, their home
is taken care of.
Bruh. And they will not leave if home ain't taken care of.
He's taking care.
But the only reason why they're able to go though is because the home is taken care of.
Absolutely.
And these guys, especially when we talk about Dewey, man, and have those moments where we've been able to sit down and talk to him, he talks at length about the work and the time and the effort that he puts at House of Hope to make sure House of Hope is doing what House of Hope needs to do.
It's not dictatorship, it's leadership.
Absolutely. And how he employs and empowers others to do what they need to do.
Just said two of my words.
He embraced them too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
We got to get these commercials in. And we're coming right back after this. Y'all keep it locked.
Keep it locked. Hey family, how y'all doing? I want to know, how are you doing? Give me your word for the week. Give me your word. Give me one word. Tell me how you're doing. I'd love to know.
Yeah.
If you're not doing well, we'd love to pray for you. If you're doing well, we'd love to celebrate with you. How are you doing? Man, yeah. Eric Perry, what it do, EP? What's up, man? He been running around a little bit of everywhere, catching revivals. It's revival season. My Lord.
Real.
Favored. I like it, AJ in the midday. Said she's favored. I ought to make you call in and tell me why you feel. Favor is your word for the week. I'm going to leave you alone, though. Grateful I see you about to retire at the end of the month. Praise the Lord.
Oh, congratulations.
Everybody, praise the Lord.
Congratulations.
Retirement looks good on you already. Look at your neighbor and say, you will. Retire. Nothing much. EP said, Trey, I'll see you Sunday.
All right, bro. We'd love to have you.
EP, when is the installation over at Greater Bryant? When is the installation at Greater Bryant? Because I forgot my brother Leon Allen now has a church.
Got you, yeah.
Greater Bryant Missionary Baptist Church, and he'll be installed. I'm wait for you to tell me, Eric, because I don't want to say the wrong date. But I think Leon is 1 or 2 years older than me.
Okay.
We grew up together playing drums in my dad's first church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, September the 8th at 2 p.m. at True Divine. All right. I'm going to be there. I will be there September the 8th. Absolutely. That's the first. Hold on.
That's first Sunday, right?
I think I'm talking too early.
I think that's first Sunday.
Yes, it is.
That's first Sunday.
I think I can be there. Yeah, I need to be there. I need to be there. That's gonna be major. I love it. How else? Second Sunday. Yeah, second Sunday. How are y'all doing? How are you doing? Your word for the week. Give me one word for your week. Give me one word for your week. Man, I start watching this new show on Netflix. It's called Average Joe. Man, that thing started out with a bang.
Cole?
Yeah,
yeah, I seen. Me and my wife was watching that.
Deion Cole crazy.
A fool.
That boy's funny. Boy. It just dropped on Netflix. I think it was already on some other outlets.
Yeah.
But that's a funny one.
I think
EP said he's doing wonderful.
Plus.
BET Plus.
I think I'm on BET.
Yeah, see, I don't do the
good.
BET Plus. I don't know what the rest of the movie be like too big. Recharge, Mama McCall. That's good. That's good. If you recharge, that means you got some work you can carry out now. Hiya. Oh.
Mama got to usher this Sunday.
I'm not sure. You know, I don't keep up with their scheduling.
I need to see you, Mama McCall.
You know, ushers be having schedules.
I need to see you. I know.
My birthday is Wednesday, August the 21st. EP, you about to turn 30?
I want to see you, Mama. Say what?
Eric, you turning 30, boy?
Dang.
Man, I thought you about 25, boy. About 20, 22.
Eric getting old, man.
Mother said she usher on 4th Sunday.
That's on the 4th.
She a part of the usher board number 4. Jan Cole said progressing. We see it. Mama called. He said he need to see you.
I want to see you.
Huh? He wanna see you.
So we can get our selfie. We gotta get our selfie. Mama McCall be so laid back when she ushering, man. Lady was shouting Thursday. Mama McCall just had that fan just right there on.
Somebody was shouting? Man, I don't be knowing what be going on behind me, bro. Was it during the preaching?
When it was closing?
I was in
I think it was like the third time he closed.
I was in the frenzy myself, right?
And he was yanking it. That lady got the shout.
Sunday, his service is gonna be at 9:30 Sunday, Mother McCall. 9:30, right?
Yeah, 9:30.
9:30. These folks, see, that's why I did a Thursday. Cause these morning service can't nobody come celebrate with you.
Well, she'll be back in time to catch. Y'all start at 10.
Hey, no. I'm saying I want to come celebrate with you. But your service, I ain't talking about what Mother McCall can do. I can't speak for her gas, or her car.
You talking about for you?
I'm talking
you want
about,
to come celebrate?
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, ain't nothing like pushing a preacher. Dog, people don't get it. I love pushing preachers sometime more than I love preaching.
Yeah, because you insane.
Oh, Reverend.
You insane.
I want to push you,
Like,
man.
You be right in their face. This you. This you.
Look, he's talking about face. Right. When he said, ooh, I was like, oh. I wish somebody would push me like that, boy. I swear, boy. Be to pop the blood vessel.
For real. Just
red out over here.
Just holler.
Ooh. Oh, Doc. Sometimes that push get you on in the glory, Doc.
Hey, man. It help you get to where you need to be, though, for real.
Woo. It be some time, bro. Like, for real, you be preaching and you feel tired.
Oh, you get that right push, though.
Doc, they don't get it.
All the tiredness just evaporates.
You be preaching it, and you getting weary and well doing, Doc. Then that one person say, rah! You say, oh.
You feel your help for real.
Oh,
you start reaching down and just pulling.
Mama said, who your folks? You were silly. Hold on. I'm getting caught.
We going on after this.
So the Ruby Barton, you still nibbling. Hey man, I tell you, when you get a good word, you can nibble and nibble and nibble. And the blessing of online church is you can always go back and get it. Watch it all the way over. It's some sermon, man, out here. Man, Dr. Pointer preaching down in Florida, man. He was preaching Psalm 23.
Okay.
He said, this is David illustrating to us how God will be with you through the scenes of life. He talked about how God will be with you in the pasture. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He's making me to lie down in green pasture. Reverend. Oh, it killed me. I can't handle it. Yeah, Pastor Edward Smith is coming to Shreveport. My mama down there, she happy about it. He's gonna bless y'all, Mom. And whatever you do, I tell him who you are, Mama. He tell him who you are. Yeah, you rewatch Pastor Kevin Bryan at 8 o'clock service several times. Oh, he killed us at 8 o'clock, Doc.
Did he do it, man?
He preached lessons for the water pot. Reverend. He looked at John number 2 in a way I ain't never seen it before.
For real.
My dad was there at 8 o'clock. My dad said, yeah, I've never, he gonna make me go look back at some things. Cause Doc, I ain't never, I was on the phone with Pop, he was like, he did that, I ain't never looked at that. Ooh, Doc. He talked about how the pots were sitting outside the church. They were just sitting, not looking to be used. Not looking to be called on.
Just sitting.
Not Doc, just sitting. He said they survive because they're outside. They got to deal with the elements, the sun, the rain. They got to deal. Oh, Reverend. He said the surety of the pots, the fact that they were able to handle what God put inside of them. God can only use you when he knows you can hold what he's about to put inside.
That's crazy, man.
Oh, the roof is on fire. Oh, yeah, he killed that.
That was just at the 8 o'clock service.
That was 8 o'clock. He preached something different at 10.
Oh, man.
Cut up.
Montgomery's Inspiration Station, Praise 96.5 FM, WMGY. We're now 5 minutes past the 4 o'clock hours, 4:05, right here in the capital city. Temperature is set at about 95 degrees. On the outside, listen, it's hot outside.
It's hot outside.
It's hot. So make sure you stay hydrated, all right? Please drink plenty of water and remain, as best you can, cool, calm, and collected. It's too hot to be arguing and fussing and bickering.
Yeah, it's hot outside.
It's too hot for that.
The roof.
Okay.
The roof is on fire.
What was it called? Lessons for the water pot. That's crazy.
He was calling me a water pot. Dog, he preached.
You were just sitting there.
Oh, Reverend. I wasn't just sitting.
No, I'm saying you were just sitting there not expecting to be you.
Oh yeah. Not even looking for it.
Not even anticipating it.
Just sitting there. Really thinking I was purposed for something else. Until God came along and showed me that there was another purpose.
So you saw yourself in the water pot?
And look, the last point, what's inside of you ain't for you.
Man.
Reverend. I couldn't take it, Reverend. I couldn't take it, Reverend. Oh, my. It'll preach, Reverend. I promise you it'll preach.
Man. Let me ask you something. So you because we've done a great deal since we've been on Straight Church No Chaser to really kind of tackle the whole conversation of competition and collaboration and all that good stuff. Right. So and I think we've done a really good job at trying to navigate that conversation, right, especially in our context, our local context. So what did it mean for you though? And whether you did this by intention or whether it was unintentional, what did it mean for you to have E. Dewey to come and to create opportunities for other pastors to connect with him?
Man, it was the so myself and my chairman, we do a thing that we debrief.
Okay.
We talk through things, process and consider things, and that's what made the night really perfect for me. Okay. It was the moment that people didn't see. It was the fact that I was able to go back in, talk to him, make sure he was cool, make sure he had changed, and ask him, hey, you got some time, you want to speak to some young preachers? And my team was smart enough to get all of the preachers to go to the fellowship hall. And so that opportunity, that moment of walking him in with all of these preachers and people that wanted to meet Pastor E. Dewey Smith, and him having the opportunity to just tell them, hey, man, first off, let's thank God for Pastor Walker. 5 years. Come on, let's do it. Right. And then secondly, I was like, well, I want you to tell them about the Ambassadors Assembly before we get into shaking hands and taking pictures. I want them to know how they can connect with what you're doing. And he started giving the spiel. And of course, there's maybe like 4 or 5 of us in there that are already a part.
Absolutely.
And we were able to, really corroborate all of his sentiments shared and the progressiveness or the progression of it and the blessing that it is to all of us in various ways. And so that's what really made the night perfect for me. That and the conversation with him about progress and where do we go from here.
Got you.
And him saying, man, the hospitality over there is amazing. That's a hot spot. Like he said, that thing was hot in there. And so all that did my heart well. But it was the moment to have that opportunity to attempt to connect other preachers. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Let's be totally honest.
Yeah.
Being the younger guys in this space of pastoring in this city, or just in the world in general, you don't always get a handout.
Yeah.
Let me say this: you never get a handout.
Right.
But you don't always get a hand up.
You really don't.
There's a lot of people who want you to start from the bottom and work as hard as they work.
Absolutely.
And it's the same stuff we deal with in our families in the Black culture.
True.
That's why I'm always telling people, you need your children and the next generation to start where you are, not where you were. Like, you've done yourself and everybody else a terrible injustice.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I would say the same thing for preachers and preaching. Yes, there are lessons we can learn by starting in the mailroom, but let's be honest. I'm a singer. There's something in the water nowadays that these kids are coming out singing better than me now.
Yeah.
And they just not opening their mouths. Let's be honest. God has his hand on some people. And they're going to do what took you 40 years or 30 years, they're going to do it in 3.
Yep.
And we can't be mad about that.
Absolutely.
God is the type of God that he uses who he desires to use when he desires to use. He's sovereign, Doc. And so when we realize that he's in charge of promotion, when we realize that he's in charge of growth, when we realize that he's the one that's making all this happen, we'll start working together.
True.
And my thing is, what I bring to Ambassadors Assembly is what I bring.
Yep.
What you bring is what you bring. What you bring is what you bring. I don't care nothing about you getting a relationship with somebody. No, matter of fact, come here so that you can get a relationship.
And I just thought that was very interesting to see how adamant you were after you checked on him with making sure every preacher that you saw was going back there. If it was for nothing else, to at least just to see, you know what I'm saying, to greet him or speak to him. And I just thought that was something, and I just want to know, what did it mean for you to see that, though? Like,
you know me, bro. That was it for me, you know, and I stepped back.
Yeah.
I had to be on guard or none of that.
I'm about to say, because, you know, now, some people get certain preachers of certain calibers.
Get feeling themselves.
Yeah, they be all over them.
No, I stepped back, man. My big thing was allowing other people to get to know this great individual that I know. And then I started going back to the host mode. How do I make sure that he's good?
Got you.
Hey, man, where that hand sanitizer? Hey, man, all these hands in here. Where that hand sanitizer, right? And that's what I legit did. And I started entertaining people, too, because y'all came to my space. So I got to host everybody.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. I looked at him one point and I said, hey, Pastor, you tell me, you know, nod your head or something. Tell me when you had enough. Because I know how we can be.
Yeah.
We're extroverts until that moment that we're not.
and that moment comes, sometimes it comes very swiftly.
Yeah, we just want to chill, you know, we want to mellow out and calm down. Yeah. And so I wanted him to give me that signal, and then I would, you know, calm it down and we can proceed. But he wanted to shake every hand and he wanted to speak to every person. And he didn't even sell everything that he could have sold.
True. That is very true.
He just released a book that everybody needs to go get if they're a preacher.
Yeah.
And he didn't plug that. He only shared what I asked him to share. And that level of humility taught me so much.
Yeah, man.
Taught me so much, bro. And so man, it was everything for me, for preachers that had the opportunity to come back there. Because you already know what happens in our world. The next question is, hey man, how'd you connect with him, man? Some people are already asking that question. How he bringing him to his church, man? How he do that? And I want people to understand that T.D. Jakes said it, man. Relationships are the kingdom currency.
It matters.
Yeah, and genuine relationships at that.
Yeah.
Not relationships looking for an opportunity to preach.
Yeah.
Not relationships looking for an opportunity to come on someone's platform.
Yep.
But a genuine relationship, not forced.
Yeah, man.
But just, it happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we were serving.
True.
And from that moment, and, you know, going to and doing and participating, now we have a relationship.
And just showing up and just being there.
Absolutely.
That makes all the difference, man. It's the power of presence.
Absolutely.
It's the power of presence.
Absolutely.
And just being willing to do to put into practice what we preach to even the people that we have to lead in our local congregations, right? Just being a willing vessel to fill needs and voids.
Mm-hmm.
ILS, it was a void, right?
It was a void.
And we had to fill it. We had to fill it.
Look,
because it's just in our nature to serve.
Right.
So it's not like we were doing it because we were trying to get close to him or trying to get next to him.
Absolutely.
It was like seeing his team needed some extra hands.
Absolutely.
Our hands were empty at the time.
Yep.
So, hey,
Yep.
let's go fill our hands.
Yep. And that book, I had to look it up real quick. It's called Preaching on Every Channel.
Oh, bro.
So through that book, he utilizes the different genres and or
That book is insane.
spaces of film industry.
Yeah, that book
because
is
you're
insane.
a film guy too.
Yeah, that book is insane.
Yeah, and so he's like preaching with the method of a cookbook, preaching with the method of a horror film.
Yeah, man.
And it's just so interesting. It's so interesting how he lays it out. And it definitely gives us, and I would encourage preachers to look at books like that,
Yeah.
that challenge you to shift your style every once in a while.
That matters too.
Dog.
Like that. That matters.
I started the sermon Tuesday night in revival. You know, normally the old school style Baptist, you're a big old freight plane and you slowly getting off the airfield and gliding into the sky. Then you slowly ascend, you know, then you get to your climax and you're there, right? Well, or your apex or your climax, right? And so ultimately I started this mode with a shout. I started it with a shout. I pushed that thing a shout and I said, I know most of y'all are used to this coming at the end, but is that here, that body? Then brought him back down and talked to me. Then went on back up again. and it's those moments that you have the ability to really nurture your craft and your skill, because we never know who we're going to have to minister to.
That's true.
And so one format might be for one demographic or one set of people, but there has to be another one for another.
True.
And
True.
I remember one time I was preaching in a predominantly white church.
Got you.
And afterwards they were like, you remind me so much of Keon Henderson. Because I utilized analogies and stories more than creeping to the cross or a close.
Yeah.
And although I still got excited. Oh, I got excited.
Absolutely.
I got the clapping, I got the pushing, I got the elevating my tone, but I didn't slide into a hoop, you know. And so like we talk about all the time, knowing your audience.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got no tools on your tool belt, you just
because that
like Chuck.
That was the thing for me being at when I had the opportunity to share for Pastor McTeer's anniversary at the banquet.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, man.
You preached.
Yeah.
You preached, boy. I promise you did.
But it's being able to assess your demographic and being able to take the temperature of the room to know where you are.
Absolutely.
And to be able to allow God to use you and not just coming and trying to force feed people something that is not palatable for them. Because at the end of the day, we want people to receive the word.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, your style doesn't matter. What matters is that people are able to receive the word. Yeah. And so those experiences, man, are life changing really for your ministry. Because it helps you to become ambidextrous no matter how we're gonna do it.
Oh, you preach. That's what I know. You preach.
To God be the glory.
Doc, if you would have had a Hammond, it would have got cloudy in there. It would have got cloudy in there. That food was jumping.
The food was,
but it was about to get cloudy in there. And I'm sitting there like, I was gonna push you, Doc. Ooh, I was gonna push you till you jumped over that table, Doc.
Man, oh, silly, man.
Doc, look, you. I swear I was going to. Bishop Sanders, how are you doing, Doc? Shout out to you, Ty McCall. Bishop Sanders says, knowing your audience is key. Preachers must be able to adjust to who they're preaching to. Absolutely, Bishop. Good afternoon to you, Sister Agnes Long. It builds preaching character. Absolutely, man. Yeah. You put more tools on your tool belt because there'll be some places you go to that they are nailed. And if all you got is a drill, you out of luck.
Yeah.
You finna have to learn how to turn that drill around and learn how to hammer with the back of that drill. The only problem is that might break your drill.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I need y'all in ILS. John Kelsey Stevens, you need us in ILS. Talk to me. Oh, he needs us again. Well, we gonna make it happen, Doc.
We'll show up.
We make it happen.
Call us. We'll be there.
Absolutely,
We'll be
Doc.
So 5 years.
5 years.
If you knowing all of what you know now, 5 years,
bro,
what would you tell yourself coming in the door at New Home? If this version of you could talk to the version of you that was entering New Home, what would you tell yourself?
Man, if I could talk to myself, it's so much I would say.
Yeah.
But out of all the things that I would say, I still end up with this thought. Like, in my mind, I'm saying something, and then I put a comma but. Because one of the things I had to learn that I've always taught is authenticity matters.
Yeah.
Right? But what the devil does, he's so cunning, bro. What he does is he's conniving in the essence that he'll do things to make you move from who you are. He'll do things to make you feel, or others around you feel, that if you continue to be who you are, you're going to have to deal with this issue, that issue, that problem. And what, if anything I've learned, it's, I don't care what he throws at me, you gotta be who you are.
True.
Like, don't change nothing.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what another pastor is doing. I don't care what his team is doing. I don't know. Be you. Be you. Because being you has brought the results that God desired for you to have.
Wow.
That's what I would say.
How difficult, though?
Is it?
Yeah. Do you think it was for you coming in to just really just be you?
I don't think it was that difficult. And shout out to New Home Missionary Baptist Church, aka also known as, affectionately known as New Home Mount Meigs. It was not difficult. I think there are some moments where some will question because they don't know or haven't seen this before.
Yeah.
But I'm a Bible-based preacher, teacher, pastor. And so I always point back to the Word of God. They still, potentially some could still wonder or ask some questions. But I think the thing is, everyone thinks they know how to do this.
Gotcha.
When they're not in the shoes of this. And that's not a derogatory statement towards them.
Right.
It's just the fact that you don't really know how to be in a space where you legitimately have to always be keen to the voice of God.
Yeah, man.
And majority of the times when you're doing something that often others might not agree with, you don't agree with it either. But it's what God said. Like, that's the part that some don't get. Like, I didn't want to do this either. But this is what he said. Like, bro. I mean, I kid you not. There's some things that I've done in ministry at New Home that I, at the core, would not have done it.
Really?
Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go there. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, man.
But God said, this is what you're doing. And that's a tough part that most people can't deal with or have conversation about it. It requires maturity. How can you be obedient even when you disagree with where God is telling you or what he's telling you to do?
Man.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
But you have to marry your will to his. You have to discard your desires for his desires. And then you basically say, okay, God, we're going to do what you said.
Period.
And God rewards our work. And so everything I've done it because he asked me to do it, or he gave me vision for me to do it, or he spoke to me and gave me peace about what I was doing. And I roll with the punches. Because all the books I've read, bro,
there have been punches.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people don't understand, like, on the outside looking in, people can see the numbers, they can see the posts, they can see the hype, right? But don't realize
the hurt
behind the scenes, like the hurt behind this.
Peter,
The stress, right?
Peter was chilling doing what God told him to do, Doc, and the people stoned him to the point that they thought he was dead. Now, I'm not saying they looked on him and thought he was dead. No, they picked him up and took him to the outskirts of the city and thought he was dead. He was hurt because he got hit. But then he got up and he wasn't hindered. And he went back to the same town he had just got hurt and hit.
Man.
And kept doing what God called him to do.
How do you keep helping after you've been hit and hurt?
I will say you realize that it's not personal. You realize that every aim, every target, every lie, every argument, everything that people could throw your way is really because of the anointing that's on your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's validation. It's the confirmation you need to know that God has you right where he wants you to be. And I think that's the best part about it.
Yeah.
Right? When you get delivered from this mindset of, oh, they at me.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Nothing can stop you. It's all the way up. It's all the way up. It's not at me. It's you. You're legit coming against what God told me to do because I ain't nobody. He could use anybody. And so I know without a shadow of doubt that's about two of the things I know for sure.
Yeah.
And I add this third one. This third one is, so mama used to always say new level, new devil.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know when that new level is coming. Thusly, you don't know when that new devil is coming. When you least expect it.
Oftentimes, that's when it happens, bro.
Doc, when you least expect it.
Yeah.
And that's how quickly it can happen. And then the conversation becomes, how faithful will you be to God after it happens?
Man.
And that faithfulness normally unlocks the door, opens up the gate or the door, twists the doorknob, so to speak, whichever one you're envisioning right now.
True.
To the great next level that God has for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I can only imagine how difficult it can be when you have a desire to really help people, and not just at New Home, but like help people outside of New Home, right? You put that aside, New Home aside, and you're trying to, because we've had conversations I've seen, you're trying to help other young preachers. You're trying to help other preachers, period, not just young preachers. You're trying to help other preachers.
Wow.
And I can only imagine sometimes what you have to deal with when you're trying to be such a help to others, and at the same time, it's the ones you're trying to help that be the ones that's behind the hurt and the hits.
I'll tell you something else I learned. People's affinity for you makes other people attack you.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy.
So the more people that like you, the more people that hate you, it seems like. But
yeah,
the big truth is it ain't about you.
Yeah.
And that's the weird part about it all, right?
And that's why I was asking the question originally, if in year 5, knowing all that you know, having experienced all of what you've experienced,
would I change anything?
What would you tell yourself coming into the door? Because a lot of this stuff, bro, you ain't expect to happen. Like you didn't see this coming.
Don't change.
And so that would necessarily lead to the second question, but you answered it already. What would you do differently?
Nothing.
Good.
Nothing. I wouldn't do anything different. I've walked with him.
Man.
So I'm satisfied. And I legitimately can say that you know me, I have not changed.
Yeah, bro.
Same mentality from 2019 is the same one I have now.
Yeah.
I've evolved, I know better ways and methods, right? But I still have the same mind space that, bro, me and you, when we first started all of this, it was like, bro, man, it is no joke that legitimately we were looking at ourselves as the younger preachers in this city, and we'd get the opportunity, and then it was like it opened doors for other people.
Yeah.
It was you first, because you were preaching before me.
Yeah.
Then I come behind you, then it's like, oh, there's more. So we took it on and said, hey man, this is for us.
Yeah.
The younger preachers, this is for preachers in general. We have work to do.
Absolutely.
We have systematic negativity that we have to fight against in the church realm, period, because it's in society.
Bro.
Like, we're in a space in the world where negativity gets more love than positivity. We're in a space in the world where if something is going well, we try to find something negative in it.
Absolutely.
You know, so we were all like, hey man, we in this together.
Yeah.
We're trying to fortify our reign so that we can be bosom buddies, right?
Absolutely.
And get to this victorious end. And what the devil does is what the devil does, and he does it well. But God is still God.
Absolutely.
And he has the ability to snap us out of whatever the devil got us into.
Yeah, man.
And get us right back where he wants us to be. And I can say, to God be the glory.
For sure.
You know, me and you, we had our negativity outside of the show.
Absolutely.
And we started the show as like, oh, competition.
Yeah.
Like, man, come on, man. Y'all crazy, man. We didn't know each other since you know, forever.
And I really think that was the crazy thing to come about, was the fact that, you know, we started Straight Church No Chaser to really be a blessing to the kingdom, right? And to really use it as a platform to help other people, right? And then to face some of the attacks that we've had to face, and how we've had people to try to pit us against each other, people trying to compare our ministries, our preaching styles, our effectiveness, our status, our stature, right? And it's like at every turn, we're being pitted against each other. And people not realizing that we've known each other
this ain't no
for years.
Yeah, this ain't no.
Like
this ain't no.
Like we go back to the 90s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But there's nothing new under the sun.
True.
Right. So Jesus Christ is chilling with his disciples.
Yeah.
And here comes some followers of John the Baptist or somebody else hollering, he over there doing this.
Yeah.
Right? It happened with Jesus. Now I go fast forward to the epistles, and it's like, Apollos, who you like? Apollo? Because Reverend Apollo is a good preacher now.
Yeah.
Well, Apollo's all right, but I like when Paul come preach revival.
Yeah.
Paul all right, but I like, come on, man. At some point, and this is why opportunities to speak in conversations like this matter.
Bro.
It's because it's always the followers. It's the people in the church.
Yeah.
It's the pews that often pit the pulpits against one another unintentionally.
Yeah.
Because they allow the enemy to make this competition.
Yeah.
When this has always been about collaboration.
Absolutely.
Yeah, our churches have different names.
True.
But we are the body of Christ. And so while New Home might be the big toe.
Yeah, man.
Right? Somebody else might be the big finger.
Absolutely.
Somebody else might be the pinky.
Yep.
But we're in this together.
That's it, dog.
And so that's what really matters. And prayerfully, man, we've done our job for what is this, 3 years, man?
3 years for us.
We've done our job for 3 years,
Year
man.
4 in September.
Trying to get people to see that that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting because even not in the church, but even in culture, I believe it was Snoop Dogg, or I think it was Uncle Snoop, or I think it was somebody close to them. Might have been Dre. I think it was Snoop though, who said that during the time when the beef was going on between Tupac and Big, that they wish they could have just got those two in a room together to hash out their differences.
Yeah. Because it wasn't them.
It wasn't them.
It was the motherfucker. So let's circle back around to you, man. What would you say to your 3 years younger self?
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit. Because I would have told myself don't quit, because there are going to be moments and times where you feel alone.
Yeah.
Moments and times where, you know, you're going to have to deal with being betrayed. Moments and times where you're going to have situations and circumstances to come about, and the only person you can lean on is God, right? And it's in those moments when you have to lean on God that you really don't want to lean on God. Like, you want to lean on somebody else. You want somebody else to call you.
Need some time.
Yeah, you want to hug somebody else. You want to talk to somebody else. You don't always feel like praying. And it's really in those moments that the enemy will use thoughts to really try to suppress you so he can depress you. And then ultimately oppress you. So I would definitely tell myself don't quit, because in the end, 3 years down the road, God is going to do some major things for you if you don't quit. So for me, it would be don't quit, man.
I love it.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Because I think oftentimes we have in our minds going in what we're going to do, what we want it to be like, how we think it should go. And then while we are, in the flow of it, while we're moving and grooving and doing what God desires for us to do, things doesn't always, pan out the way we hoped it would. And it can be tough, man, when you've labored and worked and sacrificed for things to turn out a certain way and it don't happen your way.
Yeah.
And you have to remind yourself, it's not about me. It's not my plans. Yeah. It's literally the plans of God. And then you see on the other side, God, I see why you didn't let this work, because you had that in mind.
So with you saying that, I think it's a good segue. I want to ask this question. How many moments do you believe you might have overreacted?
Oh, bro. I was honestly, there have been.
And you might not have, you didn't go off or anything,
off,
but you were really like sulking and dealing with stuff.
I would say there have been not many, but whatever is up under many. I would say that's where I am.
Little many.
Yeah. Not definitely been more than a few.
Not big many, but little many.
Little many. For real. Because again, going in, I have this desire to be the very best.
Yeah, perfectionist.
Yeah, so whatever I'm in, I want it to be the best.
Absolutely.
And because I have that driving force, I really had to learn how to be a better leader. To be, sometimes that means encouraging.
Yeah.
Sometimes that means, giving a slap on the wrist, but then rubbing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then reminding a person how much you love them, how much you care about them.
Absolutely.
Right? So me learning how to just be a better leader. Yeah. Because my initial response is, why this ain't X, Y, and Z, and why we ain't, and I don't want to hear no excuses, right? That's where I am mentally.
Right.
But when I see them, the Holy Spirit saying, hey, you can't, what you did in your mind, you can't let that come out your mouth.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's learning, the people I'm dealing with. The Bible says that you have to know those you labor among.
Yeah.
So learning them. And really tailoring my response to them.
I ain't gonna lie. It get hard when you really learn somehow. Amen. Praise God. All right. So what
for real?
What would you change concerning your 3 times 365 days around the sun, Pastor?
What would I change?
What would you change? What would you alter?
Oh man.
Because I wanted to circle back and say I probably altered the moments that I had. Concerning what I just asked you. Those moments where I allowed myself to think about one thing too much.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's what you would change in 5 years.
Like tell myself, like, bro, that don't even matter. You know what I mean? Because I am that type of person.
Yeah.
Like, I get to the point where like, that don't matter. But sometimes it took me a little longer than it should have. Got you.
I think the thing I would change is 3 years. What would I change? My lack of patience.
Okay.
Lack of patience for me.
Okay.
Because again, being, perfectionist, right?
Desiring
excellence.
Little OCD.
Desiring greatness.
Yeah, we got that in common.
I would change that so that I would have more patience. Gotcha. Because it is a process.
Man, I learned patience real quick.
For real.
But every level there's another level.
It really took me these 3 years to develop the patience that I have now, as far as pastoring is concerned.
Got you.
So when I talked about the journey, it's really like I needed every single thing over these past 3 years to help me to develop the patience that I have to deal with the people that God has graced me to have.
I just thought about something.
What that?
I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna give one, and I'm gonna ask you the question. I just thought about what things should we apologize to our fathers about because they told us, but we didn't understand. And so the first thing I thought about was I need to apologize when it comes to the conversation of being misunderstood. Because I tried so hard to be understood.
Wow.
Only to find out that when you're the leader, everybody won't understand.
Yeah.
Like some folks swear, like we were talking about earlier, they swear they got it together, but they don't understand why you're asking for what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Right. And they think they know that it should be this or no, it should be like this. No. There's a reason. Why I'm asking for what I'm asking for. And I shouldn't have to, and this the leader, I shouldn't have to explain to you this laundry list
Yep.
of reasons why it needs to be what I asked for. And the whole time you just misunderstood. Like you're the bad guy, but you're the greatest guy. Like you're the good guy for all of the variables that matter.
Absolutely.
But to that one,
yeah,
you're the bad guy. And so I think that's one of the things like, hey man, you're a leader, you're gonna be misunderstood. And when I heard my daddy like kind of show that and tell me that, it was like, nah, bruh.
Yeah.
They gonna understand me. 5 years later, nah, bruh. They gonna misunderstand you.
Period.
What's the one thing you have to apologize to your dad about? Like, I learned that, daddy.
So one thing oh man, it would have to be for me, not taking seriously, trying to see how can I word this.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That's
not taking seriously his not taking seriously like his desire for me to pay attention to the detail.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought that this man was crazy. Yeah. Because he would just seem like lose it about what I thought would be small stuff.
Like that don't matter.
Yeah, like this insignificant, man. Look
No,
at
it
this.
do. It do.
Yeah. But then to 3 years in to realize, hey, Trey, the small things
right. They
make the big things.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You can't have this if you don't take care of that.
Oh,
so if you take care of that, that leads to this. So for me, if my dad is listening right now, Pop, I apologize.
He's sleeping
because I didn't take seriously why you were so adamant about paying attention to the small things,
to the details,
to the small things.
I'll tell you another thing. I had to learn and see, because I'm a benefit of the doubt type of person.
Okay.
How there are those who will come around and slowly take their mask off.
You gotta talk about that.
And in the old school church, they used to make you didn't just come in and join in anything. Like even a musician, anything, like they had to know you.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, man, you can let him do that, man. Man, you ain't have to do all that, Pop, man. You can let that man do this, man. You can let that man let the man do the prayer or something like that, man. Let the man do something like that. But there really are some who are satanically sent to derail, things. And you have to be so much of a shepherd that you have your two tools, your staff and your rod.
Absolutely.
And you know how to dispense punishment while yet dispensing protection.
Yeah.
And that's one of them things, man, you think you never had to do, because you legitimately, you have the feeling and the unction that, hey man, everything will be good,
Yeah.
God got us, we good. And then there it is. Old wolf in sheep clothing.
Ah, man.
Yeah, bro. And I'll tell you one thing that I always said that really is real. And I've always been big on details.
Got you.
My dad forced us to be big on details. I was a deacon first.
And you come out of a military household.
Military house. And I was a deacon first, okay? We knew how many pieces of bread was in the loaf. You hear me? The weight on the plate, we knew how much. That one loaf right there. Hey, use them two ends. What is you doing? Hold on, them two ends. So I was good on details. I was big on details, but and I didn't struggle with this, but I do thank God for the structure, because it enabled me to put structure into place while pastoring.
Wow.
And that structure gave the ability for us to have some sanity. And, God blessed us with rapid growth.
Yeah.
So the structure had to consistently change and evolve, legitimately, just like skin, stretch marks, growing pains, things of that nature. But because there was some structure, it's easy to point back to what it was.
I got to ask this question. How do you not become frustrated or depressed when you have to keep restructuring something you thought you had already structured to perfection?
So let me be honest. I think sometimes, and we talked about this one time before, when you establish structure, it should not be hard for you to have success. Sometimes the structure needs to be tinkered with, but it shouldn't have to be tinkered with alone. You should now have the assistance of the person that you put over whatever that potential, that space of structure is.
Yeah.
They should be able to say, well, hey, Pastor, XYZ, we might need to shift this or shift that, or we didn't cover this because now it's their ant mound. They should know what needs to be there.
Absolutely.
Inside of it. When that's not happening, 9 out of 10, we got a warm body in a position. And that doesn't mean that they're not willing to serve.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they're not trying to get the information. Sometimes it just don't fit.
Yeah.
Sometimes a piece just doesn't fit. It looks just like another puzzle piece, but it does not fit.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, right? Letting people know it ain't working and it don't fit.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because most people will make you tell them when they already know. That's the hard part.
Yes, they're just moving on out the way.
Yeah, because that's normally what it is. Let's be honest. We as leaders are managers of people, managers of positions, managers of tasks, XYZ.
Yeah.
After you trained and you've trained and you've trained and you've implemented and it still is not going right, 9 out of 10, it doesn't fit.
Man.
It doesn't fit.
I think we just help somebody with that too, though.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. That's and I'm saying it, but he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, because a lot of what we have to do for God to bless us is obedience. A lot of what they need to do for God to bless them is obedience. A lot of what we do together, the majority of it is about obedience.
True.
And majority of the time, if it's not working, it's at the head of it, not the tail of it.
Wow.
So is the head of that implementing the same structure?
Yeah.
Is the head of that echoing the same sentiments?
True.
Or are they trying to have their own voice?
That's a problem.
And so at some point, here I am 5 years later, we're at the point where your voice is no longer needed because you couldn't echo what was being said from the head. And so that's why it's not working. Yeah. And that's I mean, and so I try not to get frustrated. When there is frustration, it's really on me because I've been extending grace.
Wow.
And I'm frustrated at myself that I continue to extend grace.
Wow.
In a moment where I should have been having a conversation and saying it doesn't fit. So let's see if it works over here. Because that's what we do with a puzzle board.
Yeah.
This doesn't fit right here. So let me see if it fits over here. Let me see if it fits down here. Let me see if it fits over here. Sometimes you set it to the side and go to another piece.
Yeah.
And then you'll do some work and you'll see, oh, it fits right here. And I think that's a lot of times our issue.
Yeah, man.
In church especially. Because once you train, you should be able to expect things to be what you taught them to be.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. But there cannot be, or I guess as a leader, we cannot expect for people to do what we have not taught them to do.
Absolutely. You got to train. You have to train. You have to spend time.
Got you.
And that's where the frustration kicks in,
Okay.
right? Some people get frustrated when they have not invested time. No. For me, it's when I've invested the time.
Okay.
And I'm not getting the return.
Got you.
That's a problem for me because time is money.
Yeah.
And I know how much time I've spent. I know how many opportunities I've given. Think about it like this. There was a man who was a gardener. There was another man who was the master of the field. He comes in, he says, I gave this fig tree the space to grow. Gave him access to the sun to grow. Sun, space. I've given him soil to grow in. It's not any old type of soil. It ain't red clay from Alabama. No, this is good fertilized soil.
Yeah.
He has the soil, he has the sun, and I gave him space so that nothing could hinder it. But he still ain't grown. I've invested 3 times, and I still don't see no fields. The gardener comes and he says, hey, man, let it alone 1 year. Let me dig. Let me dung it. Let me make some deposits to it. Let's see what it does.
Give me 1 more year.
What happens? The parable's over, right?
Yeah.
What happens when he comes back in a year? Frustration kicking in. What happens when he comes back 2 years? What happens when he comes back 3 years? I've extended 3 years of grace. Because the gardener was digging and dunging and making deposits.
Yeah.
But he still has not grown. He still has not produced. What do? You have a conversation with it. And you say it's not fit.
Man.
It might not all the way be dead.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be in this pot where I have good soil.
Yeah.
Where it's soaking up all this good sun. Where it's in a good space. Something else can be produced right here.
Yeah.
Something else can grow right there. So I think that's where we have to be sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. A good leader said like this: your inability to have those tough conversations sometimes can hinder another person's growth, because you having the conversation could put them where they really are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So what if you're holding up their progress and their destiny because you won't have the conversation? I said, wow.
Man. And it's easier said than done, though.
It is, because of our heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
The heart,
because of our heart.
Yeah, the heart.
Well,
not wanting to hurt anybody,
mm-hmm.
not wanting to deal with the disappointment that may come, or even the lash out, right? Because some people feel like they don't need to be moved or shift to another area. They feel like this is where they need to be.
That's how we all feel. But if I wasn't fired from some jobs, I wouldn't be at the one I'm at now.
That's it, man.
Right? If I wasn't ever told that you got it wrong, or that you did not do it right, or that I know you think this is it, but this ain't it.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't have worked so hard to get where I am.
Yeah, man.
And I think that is impeding a lot of people's progress and productivity.
Bro,
that nobody wants to have a conversation.
That's something. We got to get to a commercial break.
Yeah.
So we can come back and close it out. But before we do that, I just want to take a moment. I want to ask you this question before we go to commercial break.
What you got?
What part do you think your wife has played in your pastorate and in the level of success God has afforded you all?
A major part. Now, I'm an analogy guy, I love to give acronyms and acrostics and alliterate and all of that good stuff. That was 3 A's right there, right? Yeah. I wish I had one straight up to say, but the level of accessibility is because of what she does at home.
Wow.
The level of sanity is because of what she does at home.
Wow.
The space to be creative is because of what she does at home.
Wow.
Oftentimes the ability to be keen and aware of the devil's vices is because of what she sees in the sanctuary or in the streets.
Man.
Yeah, a major part. But that's hard to just culminate into 3 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's an ever evolving thing.
True.
God uses those who are close to you to warn you. He uses those who are close to you to go to war with you. He uses those who are close to you to worship with you. And those things are all done normally by the person who's close to you. That's who you want to do it with.
Right.
And your wife is normally the closest one. So them be my 3 W's.
You got it in some type of way.
We'll do it like that. When we get back, man, we'll talk some more.
Yeah, y'all keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Yeah, y'all. Family. What it do? Hey, man, there is a Thursday edition, JG. Thursday edition, man. We should have got you in here. You late for church. We need to know when you off again, man, so we can have some fun.
Yeah, we need to get you back in here.
Um, we man, my boy was supposed to be here. We should have I should have called him. I think Jalen's somewhere around. He might be, he might not be. I don't tell his business. I don't know if he is though. But yeah, man. So what are you planning on doing for the rest of the year in terms of your space? You thinking of another vacation? I know you just got back. It was maybe what 2-3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
You going on another one?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
The most recent one was the staycation we were talking about. And I gotta say you've been really helping me to understand the importance of that.
You need one of them on every 2 months or once a quarter, Doc.
But yeah, so me and Antonia were definitely looking to go back out of town again.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably gonna do another 7 days. For me and for her. She's actually gearing up for another album too. So
Okay.
with that, I know she's about to go into the cave.
She needs to.
And she's really gonna be.
She should get away while she's writing it too.
Yeah, I'll tell her that.
Yeah, she needs to get away.
I'll tell her that. That's good.
Most of your creatives need a scenery shift that brings about a bunch of serenity.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of albums are written like on the beach, the winds and waves, especially when you hear songs talking about the work of God by way of view of nature.
Yeah.
It's normally something like
beauty and splendor.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's those things. And then you have songs that are birthed out of tragedy, right? And you hear the hymn writer writing songs like Amazing Grace because of a shipwreck or things of that nature. So that can always help with writing. And give you a whole nother point of view.
Yeah.
JG, you're late for church. Nettie, hey there, Nettie.
I ain't speaking to Nettie right now.
You ain't speaking to Nettie?
No, I ain't speaking to Nettie right now. Nettie know what's up. She know what's up. She already know.
See, Daisha there, changing that scenery, absolutely. I used to go fishing with my dad, man, and that's when I write the best book. I'm not write a book. I was reading book. My God, did I just prophesy?
You gonna write a book?
Oh my God,
you got a couple on, man. We ain't gonna put the number on it, but we know you got some in you.
I ain't going fishing though. But yeah, my battery's dying.
To the cash at both locations. Venture Overland AG and Overland Shopping Center together in the Engel and G on Highway 21 South. Both open 7 to 6, 7 days.
But yeah, man.
All items based on availability and supply.
When we going to the Holy Land, Doc? You quiet?
You talking about Jerusalem?
Yes, sir.
Which Jerusalem you talking about?
You talking about the Holy Land in Orlando?
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the one that's over there, over yonder.
You just say when.
There it is. Come on, Daisha. He got a book in him too. Eyes and more eyes.
Yeah, you right.
I
want to go for real.
I want him to come out with a book called Street Theology. Street apologetics.
I'll do it. You gonna write the forward.
The forward. You don't need me to do that.
Yeah, I want you to write it though.
We're gonna get somebody else major to do it.
I want you to write it.
We're gonna get Eric Mason to do it.
That'd be dope too. I want you to write the forward.
I got you. She said, check your phone. She returned that call.
Yeah.
Now with the rolling eyes.
But you was late. You should have answered the phone.
Nah, you got a time on that. Return the call.
But that's okay, Nick.
Straight chair, no chaser. Straight chair, no chaser. Woo!
Oh Lord, that's the.
Every Friday afternoon from 3 to 5 p.m. for straight
That was our commercial.
I was about to say that.
That was
I ain't never heard that before, bro. I never heard that one before.
Anyway,
We did that a long time ago.
long
Then
time we gotta update it.
ooh, we was young.
Yeah, just starting
We
out.
did that in there, didn't
We
it?
were babies. Yeah, we did it in that studio.
He's like, man, come on.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that. That was a long time ago. Golly.
Because you really got carried away at the end.
Yeah, we was had. I was really trying to get the whole look up Marlon say cheese.
Yeah,
moment. That was
yeah.
Look up Marlon say cheese. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
Da-da-da-da.
Give me a high five.
All right, and cut.
right. Man, so you asked that question, man. I had another question that just left me, man. I swear I had another question.
Uh-oh.
It was a good one though. Well, let's go back. I'll spin the block and throw it at you. Get your brownie points, man. What impact does your wife play in your ministry?
Oh.
And don't hit me with the cream in my soda and the battery in my clock
The
and
peanut butter in my jelly.
she the coal in my feet and
The skip to my loo.
the chocolate in my Twix. We don't hear all that.
Man, I would say very, very, very significant. Because my wife has been in me with. She's been in it with me like from the beginning, in the trenches. So I started pastoring. Yeah, that's her. That's her. And hands down, by far, my biggest supporter.
Absolutely.
Because no matter where I am, whenever my name is called, you gonna know she's there. Yeah, you're gonna know she's there, right? You're gonna know she's there. And so I think for me, the ability for me to do what God has called me to do and the level of sacrifice I've had to make in order for me to get it done, she's been right there to support the decisions I've had to make, right? It wasn't always the easy decision,
Right.
but she made it easier by her acceptance and trust that I was hearing the voice of God and that I was doing what God was leading us to do, even when it didn't make sense to us,
Right.
even when it wasn't always the best time for us, because God's timing is very interesting. And sometimes
Like to interrupt.
the best time for God would catch you in a moment like, what? Now?
Absolutely.
Like now, God, you really want me to do this now, right?
Right.
But when God gives peace concerning it, you really know it's the voice of God. So she's been significant, man. She's been the very essence of a help meet, right? And she's been not only a support system, but a prayer warrior. Having somebody cover you in prayer, Doc.
Right.
Amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because knowing that she has my best interests at heart, and that she has a heart for restoration too. Because being the wife of a pastor, I can imagine takes a toll on you too, to see the level of sacrifice that your husband has to make, right? And when you hear people saying things and when your husband is going through things, it affects you too.
Absolutely.
Right? And so sometimes when you want to chill with your husband or when you want to go on a date, you can't because your husband either has to go to the church,
sacrifice,
right, dealing with something at the church.
Absolutely.
So I would say, man, my wife has been very significant.
I love it.
Very significant.
I love it. As I think about just, man, 365 days is major. I wish I could look up the thing. And while I'm looking it up, matter of fact, I want you to look at Jonathan Gilbert's statement. He's talking to you.
He's talking to me.
Yeah, he's wanting to ask. He's asking you something. You see it?
Does trade golf? Oh, does trade golf?
Yeah.
No, I need to though. I need to. Lee B and others have definitely been on me. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to give me some. I'm gonna have to give me some golf clubs and come out there.
Restoration. You need some golf clubs. He already got nice shirts that he can wear. He just needs some golf clubs. So according to the Hartford Institute for Religion research survey from fall of 2023, 56% of pastors considered leaving their church this year. And 47% considered leaving pastoral ministry, period.
Hold on, say that again.
56% of pastors considered leaving their church. and 47% considered leaving pastoral ministry altogether.
Wow.
And, you know, as they were looking at that in the fall of 2023, they were saying that the numbers were considerably higher than they were the spring of 2023. And this is after COVID,
Yeah.
right? It's interesting because there are more and more pastors not only leaving the earth, but leaving the ministry.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
because of so many different reasons.
True.
Some would say scattered abroad, and that percentage are those who potentially weren't truly called.
Mm-hmm.
But then I believe there's a majority of that number were people that thought that ministry would not be as difficult as it is.
Yeah.
The stress,
Yeah.
the inability to defend yourself. That's something folks will talk about.
True. No, but we need to unpack that a little bit
We in the word of the old preacher,
because
in the word of the old preacher, you're not Jesus, but you gotta act like him.
Doc,
In the essence that they can hit you, but you can't hit back.
you talking about like
They can scandalize your name.
that's how you know the Holy Spirit is really, really
Oh, yeah.
dwelling inside of you.
But you gotta say, Father, forgive them.
Yeah.
For they know not
Yeah.
what they
When
do.
they can really just drag your name and your character through the mud.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you can't say nothing.
No, you gotta let God handle that.
And you can see them.
Uh-huh.
And you still have to smile. Keep walking.
Leave it alone. Matter of fact, you still have to pastor them. You still have to pray for them. You still have to feed them. You still have to love them.
Yep.
And so it's a job that many get a taste of and say, "No, I'm good. I'm straight.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I could be more successful somewhere else because here it is, ain't no money in it.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
The happiness that I could have in some moments, I have to deal with hurt."
Like people let the scandalous things we see on social media paint a broad picture in the minds that all pastors,
Absolutely. Are one way.
and
one way.
that's not the case at all.
And it's heavy. So there's a lot who don't make it to 3 years.
Yeah.
There's even more that don't make it 5
True.
because there's so many of them that don't make it to 1.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I applaud you for having a level of stick-to-itness. I applaud you for being one who can look at the facts and still have faith.
Yeah, man.
I applaud you for working your way from the bottom to the top. And I applaud you for sticking with God. Other people will say you stuck with your father, but you stuck with God.
That's it, man.
And that's the part that people don't give credit to. And I say celebrations, man, to you. I think I said it at your church anniversary. Congratulations.
The mortgage burning.
The mortgage burning. That's what it was.
Yeah. That
Congratulations,
was
Doc.
it, man.
3 years, man. You've done an amazing job. You've met and even literally slayed a Goliath.
Yeah, Doc.
Because most people don't know the hardest thing to do in a black church is pay off a mortgage.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Many of them don't do it. Yeah.
We're so building minded
Yeah.
that we always have debt.
Yeah.
But for you to have done that in your first year is major.
I can't even count how many people ask me, what is a mortgage burning service?
Where you been? Where you been?
Yeah. I can't even tell you how many people have asked that question time and time again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can believe it.
Especially in the city.
Yeah, I can believe it, bro.
And so for me, man, it was a blessing, and it was just a reminder that God has His hands on me,
Yeah.
and that God has His hand on our ministry.
Man, I'm excited for you because you have all that you shall need.
Yeah, Doc.
Like, I'm excited about that. Like, people don't get that, right? There are those who have to build. There are those who don't have to.
Yeah.
And you have all that you will need, period.
Yeah, Doc.
Like, all it takes is for you to do what you want to do.
Yeah, man.
Like, legit, your next vacation should be you in a notepad and you drawing out what you want. Legitimately saying, we need a room for this. We need a room for this. I see this being something we'll need in the future.
Yeah.
We need a room for this.
Yeah.
Like, legit, because you already have the space.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, there's some of us who are imagining what God can do. because we don't have the space. Oh, but God, I believe there's something coming. And so yeah, man, you have it already, and that's so major, and it's so needed because our community needs things now that we don't even know we need.
True.
And it's coming down the pipeline, and we're going to need space for these things and for these entities to be able to function properly.
Absolutely.
And so I'm excited about that, man. So congratulations, this Sunday, 9:30 at Restoration Church. What's the address?
164 East South Boulevard.
164 East South Boulevard, right there, Restoration Church.
Yeah, man.
9:30. Man, it's 5:09. We got to get out of here.
We gotta go.
If you're not at Restoration, which you should be, I want you to, matter of fact, I'm going to invite you to the 8 o'clock service at New Home out in Eggs, 11015 Jones Road.
Go to the 8 o'clock.
Come to 8 o'clock and go meet my boy at 9:30.
Yeah.
It's his pastor's anniversary. 3 years in the making. I promise you he going to have his nice suit on. I got a feeling he going to have some big buttons.
We're gonna see what the Lord will allow.
And so yeah, man, y'all go party with my boy, man. We
Good.
pray that it goes well and everything does well.
Yeah, man.
I can't tune in because I'll be somewhere about to preach.
You be about to, you be preaching.
But yeah, I'm gonna jump on there, man. In the meantime, between time, I'm normally in Sunday school when y'all are getting started.
Got you.
And the praise team's up.
I know you'll peek in.
Yeah, I peek in.
I know you'll peek in.
Let go. And we definitely, man, we celebrate what God's doing in our lives, but not just in our lives. We celebrate what God's doing in your life. I'm talking about you on the other side of this screen on Facebook, on the other side of the radio broadcast. I want you to know that the best is still yet to come.
Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Legitimately, we got plenty more months. The year is not over. If God said it, it shall come to pass.
Absolutely.
I need you to believe that it's possible. I need you to believe that it's possible. I need you to believe that it's possible, and it shall come to pass.
Absolutely.
Pastor Trey?
Yeah, we about to head out. We love y'all. We'll see you. We'll be back. Unfortunately, we won't be back next Friday.
No, we won't be back next Friday.
But
The Lord has blessed me.
yeah.
And I'll be in a retreat with Leadership Montgomery.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see y'all next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Before you get to Bible study,
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
we need you to come to Straight Church No Chaser study.
We're
We're gonna talk about some things right here, same place.
bring your notepad, your pencil. Make sure your iPad is unlocked.
Same place. Different day. You know what I mean? Bring your sword and shield to the classroom.
It's gonna be good.
For
It's
real.
gonna be good.
We're gonna have some fun.
So we'll see you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
We
Yeah.
love y'all.
Peace. Peace. Yeah.